Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Delco Nerd Network Hot Takes. Now, you might be asking yourself, Trio, what is a hot take? Well, it's just where we sit down in a basement, we review a game, movie, or topic. Today, it's a video game. We are here to discuss Demon Souls and all its fun and demon souliness. Gooch is here to join me. Gooch, how you doing?
True, doing pretty well. Cyberpunk's treating us well. You know, we had to pull ourselves away from our...
Truly.
Not our. We had to pull ourselves away from Night City to, do this.
Yeah, and it was tough. I'm not going to lie. I just kind of wanted to live there. Besides all the bugs, it's been fun. But, it has a lot of bugs.
Definitely.
Gooch, you've been playing Demon Souls. You obviously have the PlayStation 5, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I still can't find one. I just wanted to address that and say that, Gooch, you stole my PS5, but it's fine. How do you feel about Demon Souls? What's so for blanket statement? Good, bad, ugly?
So let me start off by saying I am not a Demon Souls veteran. I've never played the original, so I don't have a bias about this game going into it from a Demon Souls fan.
I am a Dark Souls purist,
right. I am a Dark Souls fan. I played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Are we missing one? I don't think so. It's just Sekiro and Bloodborne.
Yeah, you said Bloodborne. Yeah,
weird ones.
Yep. Besides,
not
Dark Souls.
Yeah, but yeah, Demon Souls is the only game I've never played. So just
coming at it from that angle,
keep that in mind. I'm not going into it with any nostalgia. There are a bunch of critiques of that I've heard from various people on various degrees of hey, they changed this model or they kind of changed the way this character looks, and it doesn't they don't feel like it's an accurate representation of
that monster,
the
or
original,
person,
or something to do with the lore. I don't really have that perspective, though it's a somewhat valid critique, but I don't think some people are very vitriolic and vehement about it in general, this is horrible, all right, relax.
Sure.
And then some people are yeah, they changed it, but whatever. And
still an enjoyable
That's
game.
kind of my perspective, as somebody who would maybe get pissed if I was in that position.
Sure.
It doesn't really do anything. It's just Blue Point did a lot of things better. The first one being the character creation. And to go back to your statement, I like this game. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm very in the middle on it. I enjoy it, but it's not my favorite Souls game.
Sure.
So it's not I look at Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne as my two favorites. So if I had to rank them real quick.
Sure.
Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, Sekiro, Dark Souls 2.
Sekiro is that low for you? Huh?
I wasn't into it.
It's funny because I actually just a quick sidebar. I started playing it again just because I was bored before Cyberpunk was coming out.
Right.
I finally got past the corrupted monk, so I actually moved on. I do love in those games, and I don't know if it's the same way in Demon Souls. You have to tell me how very vastly different character designs are from area to area, and when you go to that kind of high temple area in Sekiro. There's these fish people and all that, all these different monsters. I think they really do a cool job, these games, of giving you kind of very unique monsters within each sect of these games. Would you say Demon Souls kind of does the same thing?
So we'll just go off of that. I'll get back to the character creation later.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
But no, it's okay. So Demon Souls kind of divides itself up very obviously with areas. So in Demon Souls, you don't start in the Nexus, but you have a tutorial zone, and then you go to the Nexus. The Nexus is your hub where you level up. Sort of like in Sekiro.
Yeah, where that the temple.
Your hub changes, but there's that hub area where the majority of the shops and everything are.
Sure.
And then from the Nexus, you go to 5 different worlds, and each of those worlds kind of does have its own feel, its own enemies. We have Boletaria, which is kind of your run-of-the-mill castle medieval environment with actual people.
Gotcha.
So you're fighting people, and there's dragons and knights pretty much. And then World 2 is called Stonefang Mine, and that's all they're kind of you're in a mountain. It's kind of like Moria from Lord of the Rings, that kind of feel
Sure.
you're in the mountain and there's mines.
There's subterranean
you start outside, but you're inside in a mountain for the most part, and there's like creepy, like minor looking people and monsters and spiders as you get deeper in. The third one is Latria, which is a more of a Bloodborne-esque kind of Cthulhu design, very like kind of like that kind
medieval medieval horror mix. I know
like
exactly what you mean.
Gothic kind of feel.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
The fourth one is Sea of Storms. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this one is based off like there's a lot of dead people there. It's not like a graveyard type of place, but like it looks like an abandoned like island. And there's like a bunch of skeletons and stuff, and there's like flying manta rays, which is kind of like that place's big thing. You fight a big Storm King at the end of it, and he's a giant like manta ray.
Love it.
And then the last place is your stereotypical Souls swamp. I want to kill myself. I hate being here, because like every Souls game has the swamp area that is just horrible.
Just not fun.
Not fun.
Was there a swampish area in Bloodborne?
Yes.
I feel like I do remember. Yeah, those fucking snakes.
Yeah,
I never did finish Bloodborne.
It's a good game.
It is.
I really like Bloodborne.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm glad. But going back to the character creator, you think they did a much better job with this one?
So this is where that is one of the big things. I think From Software has gotten away with a lot of dumb things over the years. One of them being character creator, because every Souls game character creator is
like a meme.
Is shit.
Yeah.
Like I think a Kotaku article said it best. Like Demon Souls Remake makes it so you don't look like a shell of a human being. Like it's the truth. Like
you don't just look like a
character
robot.
creator like sucks in all those games. Like
even
they're
in
not
like
good.
Bloodborne was like I don't remember being specific. Like
they're nothing to write home to in the slightest.
It's almost like at that point just give me the character and just like don't even if you're gonna make it look this shitty.
I mean, it's the same thing in Demon Souls. You're not looking at him that often.
No, that's true.
Usually there's a helmet on. In the end, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's more just kind of for you.
But hey, these character creators and all the models in the game, all the people, look really good. They really look fucking good. And they're like, I think Bluepoint's using that next-gen technology at its finest. And when I think Elden Ring comes out, From Software needs to be like, all right, I think we need to bump up the character creator too, because like obviously I think people are going. This is a positive that people liked
for sure
from Demon Souls. I think they need to look at that remake and be like, okay, what did they do better than we have done? Another thing is dialogue. Like I don't know if you ever noticed this, but in most Souls game, people don't move their mouth.
Yeah.
And like they just hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't see any emotion. Like it's not.
It's just it's text and
in this it's like oh shit, this guy's mouth is moving.
Yeah.
Like what a concept. And it's funny they got away with that shit. And it's not like I don't think anyone's like really like ragging on them for it, but it is kind of goofy that they never decided to do it. I know the focus is
more the
mouth
gameplay
movements
or
and
whatever,
cutscenes because it's not. But like it's funny that they just never wanted to do it for like your NPC characters in the world.
To be honest, I think they just were like, well, no one's complaining. So like, you know, like truly, like it's like, why am I ain't broke, don't fix it? And now people are starting to be like, listen, can we get like this is showing them like, listen, we can do this cool and we can make this more of a cinematic experience while still focusing on the gameplay. Mechanics wise, I feel like I've been hearing, or at least I've heard from maybe one or two people I watch on YouTube, that like it still feels very grounded in those old mechanics, which feel kind of sluggish in some respects.
Which is
like,
a good and a bad thing. Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne are fast. They're fast games. Dark Souls 1, 2, and Demon Souls are much slower. 2 being the slowest, and I think Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 probably being like tied at each other.
Yeah.
The game's not fast, but it's not slow.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like the original from what I've understand.
Okay.
And I think that's a good thing and a bad thing because in ways, like for example, all Dark Souls games from 1 on have the plunge attack. So when you jump off a ledge, you can attack as you go down.
Yeah.
You can't do that in Demon Souls, and it wasn't in the original. But it's like,
can we just, like
why didn't like I don't think adding it would have pissed anyone off
or like broken the game in any
right.
way.
It's just like okay, like
it's a quality of life thing. Like it's
and that's I think my biggest gripe with this game is we're kind of going back in time to a game I don't have nostalgia for, and I don't really appreciate like the going back in time of mechanics and stuff. And
you'd rather it be like more streamlined and more of today's control.
In a way, I'm cool with it being true to what it was, but in a way, it's like okay, like plunging attack was an improvement. The dodging they improved a little bit because if I remember correctly, you couldn't dodge. Something was weird with the dodge. It wasn't that good. They improved it in the remake, but you still only dodge like forward, back, left, and right.
So you can't dodge like diagonally.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it like, and it's just like, okay, like they improved it, but they didn't change it.
Yeah,
from its
I hear what you're
original.
saying. So like basically control scheme wise and all that jazz, basically seems to have stayed relatively the same.
Yeah, and I think they made improvements where like there was
needed.
real criticism, and they kind of just left
And
everything else.
Yeah, it would bring it down.
Alone. There is another system in this game that, again, I don't have any nostalgia for, and I don't really like it because I think it makes the game like a lot fucking more grueling. Is the world tendency system. So, like in most Souls games, you can become human and you can die and you're in soul form, and you kind of have it. You know, if you die in soul form, your like life is, you know, pegged down a little bit, halfway. And in Demon Souls, you know, same thing applies here. But if you're dying in soul and dying in human form a lot, what happens is your world tendency goes down. So, which means if you try to make your life easier and you die, you make your life harder. Going into a black world tendency means, phantom enemies will spawn and they're much harder and they make a life a hell of a lot more
so
difficult
it's almost
for
like
you.
if you die too it's
Too
like
often.
it punishes you for being bad.
Right. But only in human form. If you're in soul form and you keep dying, you're fine. But if you're at a boss, like I did my first round through, because I really didn't understand the system, I was using the items that, you know, bring your humanity back. I can summon players. My health goes up. I'm trying to make it a little easier for myself, and I got punished for that. So like for some items, I need to take a sip.
It's all right. So that's interesting. So. Wow, that seems
for
very
for some items and some things to happen, you need to be certain world tendencies. So if you get black and you beat all the bosses, you have to start over.
Wow.
Not to beat the game, but to get these events. Like you need, like when you start the game, everything is neutral.
Yeah.
So when you kill bosses, you kill black phantom enemies or players that invade you, it goes up by 30% or certain intervals. Basically it means to get pure white world tendency, you can't die in human form, and that's pretty much it. I think killing NPCs also does that, but like, you know, I think that's pretty obvious that you probably shouldn't be killing NPCs. There's certain people. There's one bad NPC, you free him from a prison, and he goes back to the Nexus, and eventually will kill everyone there.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
So, like, you can kill him in the Nexus, and I think you take a hit. You also have character world tendency, which same thing applies, but it's to your person. And I'm not exactly sure how that all works. I think it unlocks certain quest lines, and I know you can get certain rings from being pure white tendency as a character, but that mechanic I didn't understand right away, and I was punished for it.
So there's a soul form and a human form.
Right.
You can change back willingly?
Or you have to have an item to change back into your human form, which gets your health back up to max.
full. Okay.
Right.
And then if you die in that too often, that's what causes this black tendency.
Yes.
That sounds very odd.
Yeah.
And very confusing. Does it work once you realize what's going on? Is it a little bit better?
And
or
you're
is
a
it
better
more,
player? Yes.
Yeah, but
as a first time player, like not really knowing this mechanic, and like I've seen Demon Souls before, like I've seen it.
You've synced it.
I've seen it streamed and stuff, but I didn't really have a context for a lot of it.
Sure.
So I was kind of going into it and
Little
like,
blind, yeah.
I've heard of this. I don't really know what it is.
You're not
I'm not
totally
gonna,
comprehending.
I'm not going to worry about it.
And then it ended up really having
it
you over.
ended up fucking me in some ways. Like there's this in one of the worlds, there's this tendency event where you have to, a guy asks for his katana and you have to go get it, and it only like it's on this ledge and you can't get it until you get to pure white tendency and it just falls off.
Okay.
And then you get it and bring it back to him. Well, I was trying to bring it back to him and I got invaded because I was in human form and I died. So I lost pure white tendency and I have to restart to like finish the quest. Yeah, so I was like, are you fucking for real? So like at that point I'd finished all the bosses. Like there's nothing I can do. Unless I get invaded and kill people. But like Dark Souls PvP, or you know, for anyone who knows anything about that, like if you're not good, you suck, dude.
Yeah, I was
like, someone's gonna invade your world and fuck
and
you
just
up.
destroy you.
Yeah, some people.
It's almost like Mortal Kombat when you play online. Like people are just gonna rake you over the coals.
Like that's Souls PvP for you. It's like some people really know how to like dodge the shit out of you and then fucking parry you and kill you in one shot.
Fuck.
And that's not what happened here. I was like fighting this person, but I was like I should have just quit because like I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So again, this mechanic doesn't follow into any other Souls game, and I think they kind of realized that like this is a little. It's not that I'm complaining that it's harder. It's just like my ignorance to the mechanic
Really
made it harder.
Effed you over. Yeah,
that's not really my fault.
And yeah, it wasn't that it wasn't explained well enough for you to grasp that.
This is a series that doesn't really explain a lot, so you kind of are just figuring it out. And then of course I'm kind of looking things up, and I'm like, okay, like what
does this
how
mean?
do I get it up? How do I get it down? Like what percentages do the bosses do? And yeah, I don't really like it. I'm gonna have to deal with it to get like the trophies and stuff, because some items require pure black, some require pure white. So white, knock that off first, because just dying over and over
not
again
hard. Yeah,
to get it to black is not difficult.
Yeah. Not very tough. Okay, well that's cool.
But you know, through and through, this is a Dark Souls game. If you've never played Demon Souls, you'll jump in and it'll feel familiar. Things are a little different. The game's a lot more simplified. Not as much armor, not as many weapons as we had in previous games, especially Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 2, where there's like a shit ton of sets and weapon sets and armor sets for you to use. The magic and the miracles, which is healing, is kind of dumbed down a little bit too. There's not as much, so in a way it's a little more approachable, because one thing I will say in Dark Souls as a critique, magic is a very hard spec to spec into, because it's hard to understand and it's hard to be good at some builds.
Really?
Sword and shield, I think
not that tough. Yeah, that's kind of basic. Yeah.
But like as soon as you mix magic in and you don't have really good armor and you're getting one shot, and it's just like, okay, like how do I make magic good?
Yeah,
Demon Souls, it's easy to make magic good, but in the rest of the series, it's not.
So
magic is not that good.
Demon Souls is it is easier to do magic and easier to spec into it.
And I almost regret not doing it, because I've never done that build, and I kind of did like I'm using like miracles and sword and shield.
Yeah,
which is something I've done before, and I'm like, yeah, I would have liked to use magic this game.
But but how could you know? Because in that makes sense. And all these other games you're saying that didn't work very well, right? That's okay.
The bosses in this game are pretty interesting.
Some of them look like, I will say one thing about this game just from watching it. The visual, this is truly, I feel like, the first visual like upgrade in a game where I was like, Jesus Christ, like the fire and everything, and just the way things reflected off surfaces and stuff like that. Like that game looks so fucking good. Yeah. It really, and for how bleak and how disgusting it is, like how the world, it still looks beautiful.
Like I said, like the character models and the enemies, like go into photo mode and like check some of those
cool. They have a photo
models out. Yeah.
I love that photo mode has just become the norm.
A thing.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's pretty
cool.
I
don't think it's in. Is it in Sekiro? No. And it's not in any other Souls game. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't believe it's in Sekiro. But yeah.
But they did bring it over into Demon Souls.
So what are some other?
And it's a beautiful game.
Yeah,
like you said, it really does. It
really.
Next gen at 60 frames, like this game does play well on the PS5.
Looks like butter.
Like butter.
Gooch. Anything else on Demon Souls? I'm trying to think. I feel like I asked you everything. I was thinking of.
This. I guess not to reiterate, but say, the story is what it is. It's not anything to write home to, but the lore and the world kind of like writes the story for it. Like you kind of are learning through the few NPCs that are in the world and what they are,
context and such,
who they say, and then like it's not as good as it is in Demon Souls, like compared to like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, where like you're really learning a lot from these items.
And like, I will say, even like Sekiro, I think Sekiro does like a good job of that, of like really kind of giving you that kind of more straightforward story.
Right, which is what I don't like.
Excuse me, really?
That's why I don't like Sekiro.
Sorry for anyone who just caught my burp. I apologize. This Pepsi is not doing me well. But yeah, see, that's funny because that's what I loved about Sekiro. Like I was like, oh, I know what's happening.
That's what I was like. I enjoy the worlds where like I'm like, okay, like in Boltaria, like I'm hearing about this king of land, and like apparently like he let demons into the kingdom, and like who are these fat official guys? Like they're kind of like corruption, and like they kind of corrupted the society here, and like this boss is like was a knight of a lance, like elite people, and like you learn that all through the item descriptions, and I kind of like it. It's cool. I think it adds like a perspective to narrative and storytelling, which is like pretty much non-existent in most games.
Sure.
For the most part in games, you're learning exposition and plot and world just through people talking to you.
Which is more direct means.
Yeah, I mean there are NPCs that talk to you about things, but a lot of them speak in like riddles and vagaries, and like it's not enough for you to really piece it together easily.
If you want to get the monster, go to the hill with the crest.
Yeah, and like the maiden in black who levels you up just speaks in riddles.
Just
like,
yeah,
right. And there are 2 endings, one good, one bad, nothing crazy.
And does that depend on if you have the white or black?
No,
that has.
It just depends on an action you do at the end. That's it.
Interesting.
Whereas like Dark Souls 3, there's like and Sekiro, there are endings that like require you to do like a lot of shit before you do it. Same with Bloodborne, and I kind of like that. But again, this game was made in like 2007, 2008, so it makes sense that wasn't a thing back then. Because yeah,
that just wasn't how it was.
Right, especially with From's first like iteration into this genre, a game, mind you, that like me, not a ton of people played. Like I think like the Souls vets played Demon Souls,
of course,
but
the
like
OGs,
I don't think people
say.
played Dark Souls 1 and 2 and necessarily went back to go play Demon Souls. Demon Souls
makes
is,
sense.
from what I understand, and like I watch a streamer who does no hit runs for it or used to. It's not aged well. It's definitely an old looking game.
When did that come out?
PS3. It's a PS3 exclusive.
Wow.
And it was like mid generation. So
wow, as Owen Wilson would say.
So 2007, 2008, 2009, around then. Yeah. So it was well before like the PS4 was a thing.
Sure.
Well before it. And then Dark Souls 1 and 2. Dark Souls 1 came out on the 360 and the PS3, and then Dark Souls 2 came right at the end of the generation and also was on the next generation, and then everything after is just, last generation,
Sure.
not current.
All right, well, it sounds like you would say go purchase it.
If you're a Souls fan, definitely go purchase it. And if you've played Demon Souls before, I'm sure you already have it. But it is a good game. It takes a little adjusting to, even if you're a veteran. There's just different mechanics. Things are older. It's like, okay, like I can't do this, but all right, let's see.
We'll make the most of it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do here.
I will say, once I get a PS5, I probably will pick it up. I don't know when it will be down the line, but who knows? Because it does look interesting enough to me, and
it's tough. It
looks tough.
One quick thing. I wanted to get to the boss fights. The bosses are very interesting in this game. They're more like puzzles than anything.
Then really, yeah. Okay.
They're not like, oh, I just hit him to 50%. Now he's on phase 2.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like phases. The bosses just kind of do the same thing. And like, okay, like the first boss you face is weak to fire, and you got a lot of fire bombs before you got to him. So you might as well like toss those fire bombs at him because he's weak to it.
Yeah.
The second boss is like a big Tower Knight guy, and his name's Tower Knight. You got to hit him at the knees to knock him over, to hit him in the head. Like a lot of bosses like have that kind of like, okay, like how do I take this guy down? What's his weakness? And it is just very much that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily this grandiose, this guy's fucking dodging all over the place.
I hit down his one life thing. Now he's going to grow a worm out of his fucking face or whatever, and now he's going to go nuts.
The bosses are very simple and like almost like
puzzle-ish,
their simplicity is kind of fun.
Yeah, sure. That sounds fun to me.
Whereas like they're not the spectacles of sometimes like Sekiro boss fights or Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne fights, where some of those fights are like, holy shit, what the fuck
how do I
this
fight
thing?
this man? Yeah.
Like you're like one of the last bosses in Sekiro is like a boss like that. It's like it's easy, but it's more a spectacle fight.
Sure.
Than anything.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, sounds like a good time, Gooch. I think that about does it here for us on Dark Demon Souls. I keep doing that. Demon Souls. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've been watching us live on twitch.tv/Delco Network, we very much appreciate it. If you're new around here, you can find us basically everywhere all over the interwebs. We are on the social medias at Delco Nerds. We are on Facebook. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We got a nice Facebook page. We post all our YouTube videos and stuff up there. We have an email as well that you can contact us at delconerds@gmail.com. You can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. Did I just say that? Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
I don't know if you said it twice.
I think, yeah.
It's okay.
We got it. Thank you guys so much for watching. For Gooch, I've been Trio. We'll see you next time, guys. Stay nerdy.